Well, would you look at that? We have a nice rebound today, at least a small one of a couple of percentage points, and that is not to be taken for granted. Right now, we're up about 4% as I'm making this video. That is absolutely not to be taken for granted, as we see a mixed bag across crypto right now, and the last 72 hours have not been kind to altcoins, including VET, where we fell from a high of about 0.48 roughly, all the way down to about 0.41, which is about, I'm not even gonna try that math. It was a substantial percentage, not huge, but a substantial percentage. And so right now, today, as I'm making this video this very minute, we are in the green, not by much, but by a little bit. Again, like I said, not to be taken for granted because there are a lot of coins that are in the red. Let's scroll out or zoom out a little bit. And if you have been following VET, like I do because I own it, if you have been following VET, you remember this breakout we had last week. I think it was last week. My weeks are running together, where we broke through this critical level of about 0.035, noted right here in the blue. We broke strongly through that level and then had a fantastic day the day after. The result was VET went up about 40 to 50% in a matter of just 2 or 3 days. And those were good days, absolutely good days. Ever since then, we have been kind of drifting down, okay? And you can still see, even with today, we'll have this drift downwards that we are dealing with. And it's just because we have a softness in the Bitcoin market right now. Bitcoin's not really moving up or down. It's just kind of sitting and stagnating, which is reflected in many of these altcoins where we are either drifting lower or kind of just sitting here. Overall, the past week, you could say VET is just sitting here. But like I said, we have gone up. We've even reached a high of about 0.047 today, although we gave that up. So that is a good thing. But there is no doubt, short term, and let me qualify that, short term, we do still have some questions in VET. Let me put in my caveat. Long term, I am holding VET, will hold VET. I do expect us to be several multiples above where we are at some point in 2024. I expect us to increase several multiples from here. I'm not going to put a number on it. I don't think anyone could really make an educated guess, but I would be disappointed if at some point in 2024 we aren't around 0.15 to 0.2. That's just a guess. That would be a little bit of a disappointment if we didn't make it that high at some point in 2024, because I do believe we will be hitting all-time highs for Bitcoin sometime in 2024. Long-term, that is fine. Short-term, we do still have some questions. Even this bar right here, today's bar, proves that we have questions. It's a very wicky bar. That is, there's wicks to the top and there's wicks to the bottom, and we are basically opening, and as of right now would be closing, although there's several hours left in the day, we're closing right into the middle. So you could look at this bar and say it's a battle bar, an indecision bar. It's basically we've opened and closed at this generally the same place. We pushed higher, sellers pushed it back down. We fell lower, buyers bought it back up. So it's still a level of indecision. It is not a clear trend one way or the other on the daily. So while we are green, and we should be thankful for that, it is not any guarantee we will continue higher yet. I do think we will later, but perhaps not yet. The reason is we've got Bitcoin, and Bitcoin, of course, is the big pusher and puller in the market. And you can see right here, we have been, after this fantastic run up here starting on January 23rd, we have been in this range around 52,000 for about a week now. Just kind of up and down between 51 and 53, not getting much higher, not getting much lower. I have noted this gray area, which you can see. I'll tell you why this gray area is noted. The top of this gray area, which is about 50,600, is the bottom of these wicks last week. And the bottom of this area, about 50,350, is the top of these wicks the week before. And we broke through that area pretty solidly. The indication here is we've got some levels of market reaction right around here. And if we break through this gray level, it would be expected we would break strongly and continue down, just like when we broke through it, we broke strongly and continued up. So if we should drift down, Bitcoin that is, should drift down to this gray area and puncture it, it would probably end us up below 50,000. Okay. And that would be a level of resistance 50,000 just because it's a nice round number. But if we do drop below 50,000, we very well could go on back down here and challenge the 48,000 level. That would not be without precedent, as we are less than 2 months from the halving now, which is about April 20th when it's assumed that will happen. And historically, before halving, about 4 to 6 weeks before, we start seeing a fall in Bitcoin price. And that is just looking back at the Bitcoin price before halvings in the past. We usually see a 10, 20, or 30% drop in Bitcoin starting about 4 to 6 weeks before the halving. If we hit a 20% drop, that would put us around 40 to 41%. And then we tend to consolidate through the halving. We continue consolidating through the halving for a matter of weeks, sometimes even a couple of months, before the bull run, as it is known, begins in earnest after the halving, and away we go. So that is one reason it would not surprise us to find Bitcoin breaking this 50,000 and going below and carrying on down into the 40s. We'll just have to wait and see. In fact, I was questioning, am I missing something obvious in my Bitcoin analysis? Seems like we are stuck, and there are reasons both for us going up and also for going down. So I started doing some research and listening to people that are in crypto more than I do it for a living, not a hobby. Lark Davis is someone that I follow. He is on Twitter. He's got 1.1 million followers. Also a free crypto newsletter if you're interested. And I went and watched one of his videos that he posted the other day talking about Bitcoin. And he basically said, we've been moving sideways for a week. We don't have much volatility. And so that's an indication that more volatility is coming up. He then asked himself out loud the question, is Bitcoin going up or down? And he answers himself and says he does not know, and neither does anyone else. So I was like, okay, I'm in good company then. I'm not going to stress on this. I am just going to be prepared to accept whatever happens either way. Why will I accept it? Well, in the long term for 2024, Bitcoin and VET, I do believe, are going to be fantastic buys. I do believe Bitcoin in 2024 is going to hit its all-time high and carry on. I do believe, as I've already mentioned, in VET, we will see many multiples of where we are right now some point in 2024. Not my target. This is just what I want, at least. It's not my target. I have nothing to base this on, but some others are saying that 0.15 to 0.2 is a reasonable target for us to hit toward the end of the bull run. So I would definitely like us to hit 0.2, and I'd like us to go higher. Some are calling for 0.4 to 0.5. I don't see $1 in VET's future anytime soon. Not anytime soon. $1 is pretty big. It's 20 times where we are right now. And VET's a pretty mature coin. It's got a lot of money behind it. It would have to be a lot of money to move VET 20 times higher than it is right now. But you never know what's going to happen in crypto. I am a VET holder. I like the project, and so I'm looking for 0.2. Hopefully, we'll see that in 2024. Your job right now, if you are a VET holder, is to hold, or a VET lover, is to hold. Better times, good times, not better times. Good times are ahead in 2024. You want to be patient. We might have to endure some drawdowns, especially if Bitcoin goes back into the 40s, guys. Be prepared. If it happens, and it historically has, not just making this up, it historically has before halvings. So be prepared for that. Don't panic. Don't let it affect your behavior or your outlook. Just hang on. And if it does, if you got a little bit more cash to throw to VET, might be a good time to do it. All right, that is my update on VET. Be sure to check back. I will keep you updated on all things crypto.